Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today I want to talk about a couple of dramas that are ongoing or just finished airing in July 2025 in Chinese dramaland. Those would be the dramas including the just finished 赵雪路 Coroner's Diary, the just finished 樱桃琥珀 Our Generation, the still airing, kind of just aired a few days, Sword Rose, and also the drama that kind of aired roughly the same time, 凡人修仙传, the Immortal Ascension. So I have moved on to talking about 4 dramas in one video. First, let's talk about the ones that have finished airing. I've already made a video talking about all the things I get confused about and really don't like about the drama Coroner's Diary, 赵雪路, and after I made the video, the plot went even further into the crazy land. The data, the number, the performance of this drama on 爱奇艺, based on their own statistics, is clearly being manipulated from the back end. Putting that number joke aside, the rest of the drama, although I didn't watch minute by minute, I kind of like skipped through it, I know what happens. At the end of the 38 episodes, the strongest sense you would have about the leading characters if you watched through their journey in the story would be it actually reads like a game. People who go into a video game, their intention of entering the game is to get all those trophies, not to actually resonate with the characters they're playing. They're not their characters. They're basically players putting their characters into whatever situation that if they are real people, there's no way that the pain and the struggle that's being thrown onto those characters can be so easily dealt with. I finished the game in 30 hours. It's all done. I'm cool. Move on. That's what I feel about the leading characters. They're not real people. In this sense, they're really paper person, like a dream within a dream, not in any way engaging with real human emotions. And a lot of those plot later about the court politics, about the choices of the leading characters, even the ending, like where they ended up on this fictional world's political ladders, is really funny. And the other thing that I mentioned in the first video, but not so much, kind of evolved into worse kind towards the later of the drama, which is a very archaic and unself-aware form of misogyny. By which I mean you have this constant thing happening in the drama. By setting our leading female character up as the better woman, she's compared to the lesser woman in this world. Her being able to do what guys do in that world, being a coroner, being a medical person, being very well educated, but at the same time not following what traditionally women should be doing, which is like all the housework, taking care of the family, being good at embroidery, weaver. She's not good at those things. She's good at what guys do. And this drama clearly set that up as her better virtue and uses the male character's words to pull her out of the pool of normal women, and she stands above them. She's better. And it's worse that her best friend is also such a girl who doesn't do girl stuff, does boy stuff. Therefore, they are better than the boring, traditional, uninspired other women. And both our female lead, her best friend, kind of take it as a praise and feeling really good about it. They don't have any actually, wait a minute, you can't say that for other girls. I can do this because I have this specific makeup of my parents, of the things that happen in my life. It's not like other women would not want to try this out. They just never got presented with the opportunities. And women in those ancient societies have done that for thousands of years, and they contribute also to the development of humanity. It's a lot of work and often done for free. And how could you so easily devalue that, saying that's just normal and you are special? So basically you're still dividing women into different parts, and only the parts that get males recognition are the better ones. So this drama has this really obvious still misogyny that's blatantly shining into your face as an audience and also thrown onto our leading female characters, yet everybody was like super happy about that. And I'm like, if this drama was made in 2005 and it's done in that way and most audiences don't realize what's going on, I'd forgive it. We're in 2025. Obviously this is mostly on the scriptwriter and also the main creatives, the directors, the people who just like do it and don't realize what they're doing. But inevitably, I think it does not do good for images of the leading actors. They say it with that confidence and that smile and that recognition as those characters in the story, and it leaves that impression. To some extent, the way that they say it and feeling so good about it makes me feel uncomfortable of watching them. I can do my best to ignore it and try to be objective in the future looking at their other works, but they have to basically prove themselves again to me. Although actors don't have all the freedoms, and often these days it's a fact that when they get an offer and doing a role, already works are very few, so they have to grab onto it. And also, very likely when people get the first offer, they don't see the full script. So there is always that I've already signed up, I have to do it, but I don't necessarily think this is the best thing, but I have no choice now. That I will give them, right? That's the reason to think about these things more objectively. And the good news is from now on, I think because this year Dramaland is being so bad, there are new rules getting placed into places where dramas that are made from now on, they do have to have full script down before they start shooting. Now, this is the kind of new rule that is trying to be implemented for all dramas now. If that actually gets really well carried out, that's a good sign. If an actor can get the full script before they go in, and if it really has a lot of landmines, and they think that definitely is not in line with their value, they at least can say, I'm not doing it. And if they do, then it's on them. You can clearly point basically the responsibility at people. I think that's a good sign. That's like my ending kind of opinion about Zhao Xuelu, Coroner's Diary. Since the beginning of this year, I have completely given up on iQIYI. I'm not gonna be surprised by anything they do at this point. And if one day they go bankrupt and where I am at, it is allowed, I will go and buy fireworks and put them up in the sky and film it and share it with all my audiences. How about that? Moving on, the just finished 优酷樱桃琥珀正午阳光 production led by Zhang Linghe and Zhao Jimai, their second collaboration since their Grand Princess drama. I didn't watch through this thing, I also skipped it. Ultimately, it's not an engaging story, whether it's about young people's love or anything, whatever genre it is, right? Good story would always be engaging. Bad stories are like, there's no story, you don't know what you're watching, you're just watching video. It's actually done really professionally looking, but yet when you're watching it, you constantly question yourself, what's the purpose of the storytelling? Why, as a stranger to the characters, as an audience, I should spend my time and care about what's going on, because there's nothing that's really interesting going on. These two, when they were in Grand Princess, I can feel a certain level of chemistry between Zhang Linghe and Zhao Jimai, whereas in this contemporary drama, they're not really same generation, they're like generation 4. At best, they're like cousins who have an age gap. At worst, they're like neighbors. And you're trying to convince me they're a couple, I'm like, don't get anything. The truth, I feel there's more chemistry between Jingjing and Zhang Linghe than in this drama between Zhao Jimai and Zhang Linghe. That's just a variety show. They were actually themselves in those episodes. They're not characters, whereas this is completely set up imaginary space storytelling, yet you get nothing. And what's the thing with Chinese contemporary idol dramas where somebody has to go to Hong Kong and work jobs to get money? The fact that mainland people cannot get to Hong Kong without like a version of visa that strictly restrict what you can do and how long you can stay there. I'm mainland China person. If I want to go to Hong Kong, I have to first get this thing. There's a version if you're just traveling, can only go to Hong Kong within 1 year, like twice, and each time it's like half a month or something. You cannot go over that time limit. And if you're working, it's a different type of like visa and you have to apply for that. And so basically you cannot just like show up as a mainland person in Hong Kong and start working indefinitely in Hong Kong. Like, can't happen, okay? So it's like happening in Dreamland. We have First Frost earlier this year, very early on, where female lead goes to Hong Kong and work there. Now you have Zhang Linghe doing the same thing. I'm like, adding on top of that is the not existing chemistry, and on top of that is really not a good story. Like, there's no good characters and interesting story ongoing. If you want to watch young love from high school upwards, those dramas will be my recommendation. Some of them are older, but honestly, they're all better. Those are the two finished drama. Then we have Sword Rose that has started airing on the 28th. And then one day before that, on the 27th, you have on Youku the Immortal Ascension, 凡人修仙传. I've watched them up to today's date, which is Wednesday. First, Sword Rose, 利剑玫瑰. This is a drama that got finished, I think, around 21 or 22, very early on, and it just went through a lot of censorship stuff because it is to do with police, probably prosecution, also the court. So the 3 big major branches of justice system in China all have something to do with the stories being told in this story. So multiple people have to basically censor it, and it took a long time. Led by Jin Shijia and Dili Rabad. So far, I would say this is a very 规矩, measured and in place drama of its genre. It's a very proper, serious police drama, and it takes away basically all the halo effect you have on these main actors who are popular and they have huge fandoms. In this case, 迪丽热巴 would be the top one. I don't think it's doing super well in terms of rating, but it's not doing super bad either. And looking at it as a police drama, it is a qualified police drama. The story is mostly focused on human trafficking cases, mostly on children and women. It's set 2009, something like that, so it's slightly removed from now. And that is kind of before everything got highly data-based internet surveillance in China, because after that, pretty much from the mid-2010s, China started to upgrade all its monitoring systems everywhere. It becomes harder and harder basically for criminals to do anything because everything is being watched. And that situation didn't happen or fully get set up in this drama setting. So it makes the work of the policemen in this drama a lot harder than, say, if they're in 2020s, it would be a lot easier. So far, I'm watching it as a drama that I think if I don't click it open today, I wouldn't feel I missed too much, but once I clicked it open, I probably will watch through it. Narrative and the story is at higher than medium, but not outstanding writing quality, performance quality, any of that. And if you're wondering what is the performance like, particularly for 迪丽热巴, she didn't do a bad job for this. But is there any, wow, I never thought 迪丽热巴 can look like that, or she can play a role like that, and she can be unexpected like this, then that wouldn't happen. At least so far with the episodes, I think she's just not disappointing you as her character in this type of drama, but then she's not offering anything extra. If you want to compare her performance in this one to an earlier drama that aired where she is a prosecutor, I think it's better performance in this one, but I think it mostly comes from the fact that the script and the nature of the story is written like that. I think it's very clear, you can see in this drama that Jin Shijia as the leading actor, one big problem of his acting, it's very hard to tell the differences between similar setting characters in his performance. In this drama, his policeman is like 80% like his policeman in Under the Skin. And the only difference of Under the Skin policeman is because he is a more sort of equally main lead as Tan Jianci was. It's a two male lead drama. Whereas in this drama, 迪丽热巴 is the more clear leading character and he is the supporting leading character. So you can feel the level of importance of the characters to the story are different. And also because Under the Skin has its peculiar sort of vibe and whatever the writers want to do, you know they're setting up the two male leads as a form of, definitely not BL, but everybody ships bromance. Whereas in this drama, it's not such a case. So with those settings in place, you would have a more, let's say, clean-shaven, fashionable, and cooler policeman, Du Cheng, in Under the Skin. Whereas in this Sword Worlds drama, his policeman would be the less cool and less important to the main story policeman. But apart from that, he almost is as a copied version of Du Cheng. All the little things, the quirks of his acting, the way he moves, talks, and the vibes, what might be actually just coming from Jin Shijia as an actor, instead of, say, his design of the characters. By watching this drama, basically, it becomes clearer to me as an actor, his limitation and the work that he could basically be doing for the rest of his acting career, which is how can you create characters who are on the surface very similar, yet you can almost play them as completely different people. The drama is watchable, but I don't think it's gonna be super explosive and highly impressive. And if you wanna say, is it like one of the top-notch police drama ever in Chinese dramaland, probably never gonna end up there. Then, the last one, the Youku 30 episodes, fantasy idol drama of the very famous IP, 凡人修仙传 Immortal Ascension, the live-action version led by Yang Yang and everyone else. This is directed by Yang Yang, a female director having the same pronunciation as Yang Yang, the lead actor, although written differently. First, I'll let you know, I am very unfamiliar actually with this IP, although it's very famous. I've seen it everywhere because it's very famous in China. It's been famous for years. So I come in this just as a pedestrian, that's how you would call it. It's not crappy, but it's unimpressive. And that's mostly on the production side and storytelling quality side. In terms of Yang Yang himself as an actor, actually in this drama, he looks a lot more normal than pretty much everything I've seen him in the last couple of years. Being so self-aware in front of a camera of, first, I'm the male lead, second, I'm really good looking. In comparison to those dramas, in this drama, he is just like so much better. Finally, you get a director who probably can dominate him So I would thank Yang Yang for suppressing Yang Yang. Occasionally, you almost see a flash of the younger Yang Yang before he got famous, where he was still just getting into the business, like the first drama he did, Hong Lou Meng, which I happened to be there. I still remember what he looked like when he was like, what, 16? Those old days. His character in this story starts as a very normal villager, average guy from a village who can't even read. Completely out of place when he goes into the training world of Xiuxian, and he's very timid. And the early episodes where he's being set up like that, he's playing it actually quite well. He completely lost that I have to stand up like this 24/7 posture. And he lost that kind of overconfidence and self-awareness. Then it suddenly becomes a lot more approachable and lovelier. As the story progresses, he becomes more confident in his abilities. So you would see more of that Yang Yang coming back. But so far, with the episodes I've seen, actually, the oil level has been controlled very well. I think it's only like maybe occasionally 10% or 15% shows up, but 85% it's being completely kept under the control of the director. And I hope he can keep it till the end. Please don't let the oil spill Yang Yang come back. But it doesn't mean this is a really engaging fantasy idol period drama. And why? Couple of points. First, storytelling of this story, as like the most important foundation, is very uninspired. The script writing is very, very mediocre. When you think about episodic story, you have ways of doing it to make it engaging and constantly keep the audiences on the edge of the seat, even though it's not, say, a thriller or anything. But this drama is extremely like a diary. You can stop it at any point, and you wouldn't feel like I'm eager to know what happens next. I think the motivation for people to keep watching would be, first, they really like Yang Yang. They just want to keep looking at what he looks like in the drama. Second would be, they may know the IP really well. They want to know what the live action version is gonna do to the IP, how they're gonna adapt certain really important plot points. They want to see how the live action version compares to the animations they keep watching. Apart from those motivations, if you're like me, who are not familiar with the animation, I can't compare anything, and I'm not interested in Yang Yang either, then it almost becomes hookless. To me, the motivation of clicking it open is just because I'm a drama reviewer. I have to watch it, otherwise I can't make video on it. If it's not for that, I would not keep watching. Then the next thing is, I find this drama is actually aesthetically and production quality-wise extremely disappointing compared to what they promoted it as. Because from day one, they say we go to real snowy mountains, which they did. The prairies, the grassland, the forests, the beautiful snowy mountain in China that looks stunning. And they had a lot of B-roll shots in their first rounds of trailers that looks impressive. It's like National Geography. Yet when you watch this drama, you find they completely wasted the budget and effort they spent on bringing the whole crew to a natural, real location to shoot it. It doesn't look good on camera. If you want to say landscape, that's gorgeous and being gorgeously presented on dramas, go and watch last year's To the Wonders. It's shot in Xinjiang as well. It's all those mountains, and that's pretty. Like, you can say that's half National Geography and half dramatic storytelling. This is like we went to the similar locations, yet you might as well just shoot it in a set with green screen because it doesn't look that much of a difference. Together with that is very uninspired camera work, weird wire work, lighting, color. These things are horrible, plus a level of production design. So it's worked together. Costume, for example, design, the color, the texture of hair, makeup, and then works with the set design, and then color grading. This drama's color grading is really, really, really not good. If you look at different sequences within one episode, the color don't coherently work. And overall, skin tone somehow in this drama has a little bit too much magenta. I'm very weird in the sense like I'm really sensitive to magenta tone in skin, and I just don't like it. I mean, it's my personal preference, but if a drama has too much of a magenta in everything, I just like can't deal with it. And this drama, skin tone, and overall even like background has a little bit too much magenta. Lighting looks weird in this drama, often either overexposed or it's just not pretty. I'm not an expert of lighting, but it just doesn't look good. And then color grading doesn't coherently work, and camera looks very boring. There's like hardly any very well-designed, engaging energy camera work. And like I said earlier, using real location, but actually not taking advantage of it and not making it look good on camera. Adding together makes me feel this drama spent probably a lot of money, didn't get any yield. I really feel like on YouTube or even like Chinese Bilibili, those content creators who are cameramen, any of those people can make a better looking thing if they are given the opportunity to shoot this drama. Obviously, you can't shoot the 40 episodes drama or 30 episodes drama like music video. That doesn't work, but same principle of lighting and all that applies in color grading. And yeah, the color grading and the lighting of this drama is just so confusingly not good. Anyway, so those 4 dramas, 2 finished, 2 still airing. I've been watching them and I'm still yet to finish my rehab from a dream within a dream. Because that drama is just so weirdly heightened in every sense. It's so high energy, exhilarating. In comparison, everything else becomes extremely bland and flat. It's like I've just gone on a crazy roller coaster ride and now you put me on a very gently rowing on a peaceful river boat. I can't feel any up and down. I'm watching them, I'm like constantly being, what a boring day. It's likely we're gonna get another 3-4 quite big dramas from the main 3 platforms later in August. I just hope there's one thing that's worth talking about, spending time watching, making me feel, Chinese dramaland still has hope in the desolate landscape right now. One final thing is, if you want to get like a really huge laugh, and if you can get hold of like translated version of the variety show, you can go and check the just went live on the same day as Immortal Ascension on Tencent, 地球超新鲜. Wow, the world or something? I can't remember the English translation. Basically, it's a travel kind of vlogging variety show of a group of people who includes Gong Jun, Chen Xinxu, Liu Yuning, Chen He, Sun Honglei, Li Naiwen, Wang Yuwen. These couple of people, plus some kind of guest star who will show up in one episode or something. And they basically went shooting this at end of June and up to like early parts of July. They were in Europe. They went to Spain and places and travel and do all stuff. If you want to watch like a really funny thing and then you can get in your language the subtitle, I highly recommend you check out this variety show, because if it doesn't do anything, it will make you laugh non-stop. It's really funny. It will definitely add energy to your day. It will make you grow a little bit ab muscle just by laughing too much. That should be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I'm New X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.